What is up, people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. That's right. My man Nez is in the building. We're hoping Asif will join us a little bit later on. Of course, we're talking Manchester City. Pep absolutely under pressure. Is he going to just hang it up right in the middle of the season? No, I'm just kidding. I doubt that very seriously. Of course, Arsenal flying absolutely at the very top in both the Champions League, the Premier League, all of the cups. So I'm definitely feeling good at the moment. And we'll talk Liverpool when Asif comes as well. And I also have a question about this rumor about the Chelsea players asking for money. Cole Palmer apparently not happy. But of course, we'll get into all of that. So go ahead and smash up the likes on your way in. Hype up the channel if you got any of those left. And let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Is Pep going to go this season? What you thinking, Nez?
Last year, I can't even remember what I said last year. I was going to say last year, but I think consistently, he's always stayed until the end of his contract, unless they get like beat by 10 by Wolves, which I guess is possible. The ownership is unlikely to remove him, and he's yet to have like all his new players yet. Like he hasn't have the whole thing. So I think giving him an opportunity to sort the things out with whatever's going on, he will be afforded. I don't think he's a quitter, so I doubt he will leave. And it's obvious. I mean, just looking at the table, even though the next game, it's important to win the next Champions League game, they're still pretty much guaranteed playing in the playoff round or for the next round. So there'll be another round. So it's not over in the Champions League at all either. So with all that being said, with new players that will be registered, Pep will finish this season, in my opinion. Now, and I said I know I mentioned this before in the text, but the next year for Pep is an option. He has to pick it up. So do I think he's going to pick up the next year? I don't know, man, because this at the same time, last year and this year, he's had whatever brain things that are going on right now, and there's trouble. But I think an interesting thing is he took accountability to a degree for the result. But what I found most interesting, and we tend to leave players out of this, the news, that was reported that the players gave the fans who went, the supporters that went to the game, their money back for the ticket. If that is indeed true, is the loudest acknowledgement by the players of their role. Because yes, in the last few games, the lineups have been crazy and confusing. And it looks like these guys had never played there before, which is completely on the manager if that is indeed the case. But the players are professionals. And I know we had a chat about this, and I'm sure we'll kind of broach this later about the money they've spent. But these guys are world-class athletes, entitled. I don't know about in performance, but entitled. And because that is indeed the case, and knowing how Pep Guardiola expects every player on the field to be able to play every position, with the exception of Haaland, right? And I'm just being honest about that. If that is indeed the case, then they have to own it too, because they looked like complete and utter garbage, like absolute garbage. And the thing is, I want to give credit to the other team, because they went out there and they saw what they were playing against, and they saw the low energy and the apathy, and they said, "Oh no, we're going at them." And they say, "Hey, we see other people counter, we see high line, and we're going to go against that." And they did it, and they ate them up. And they asked Donnarumma to make saves, and he made saves, and they're like, "Nope, we're not going to let that happen again. We're just going to keep taking these shots." And that's on the manager. But the players, at some point, because you played the game, I was mediocre, but I've also coached the game. There's conversations that happen on the field. And so
100%.
so I'm not trying to hear that, it's the entire organization that showed up on that frozen day deserves the blame for everything that happened, because then you went in halftime and you looked worse. You looked worse in the second half. So, and the adjustments were absolutely awful. So there are things where sometimes you need the players to take accountability. And I'm not going to call anybody out by name, because who am I to do that? But what I will say is I saw players that literally look like they were like this. And there was a quote where I think I read, I'm unsure if it's an actual quote, where Haaland said, "Hey, man, we played terribly, and I don't have an answer." And I appreciate it if that's what he said, but I also don't accept it. And I don't accept it
Right.
because we've been in poor form for weeks. And we as laymen, what
7 games.
but not even that. As laymen, we've watched him not come check back and get the ball, not hold the ball up. That we saw development early in the season, and then there was a stretch where they looked good, and then they thought aura was going to do it. And you know how I'm on that. Yeah, I don't stand on aura, because
Right.
I'll punch you in the face with your aura, and you can have all
Mhm.
the aura while you knocked out. But they have to play better. But one thing that fans are bringing up, that people are bringing up, the first thing is that ever since Rodri has been back, the form of the team has been absolutely awful. They have one win. No, they have 3 wins.
Exeter.
3 wins, but he didn't play in any of those, and the rest of them are draws or losses. But the thing that I'm really standing on is, you remember me saying this, as when Rodri came back, they said Pep said Nico was healthy, and then all of a sudden every week it says Nico was out, and
Yeah.
I'm okay, how is Nico healthy but he's out every week with an injury? So somebody's not telling the truth. So again, stuff is going on in the background that people have to address, because
Yeah.
you already know. First up, and I'm no genius, but I said, hey, when Doku, Haaland, and Shirky and Foden played together, feeding families, and they did when he finally put them together. And then I said, hey, if you keep that front line, front four, and then you play Rodri and Nico Gonzalez together, gonna feed families. And at no point have we even looked like we were gonna do that. And I just don't understand, because Bernardo, as much as we love him and to be the utility man, do you want to start the game with that, or do you want to end the game with that? And for me, if I need somebody to control the game and hold the ball, I want him on at the end. So if I want him on at the end, why don't I start with the guys that control, so then when he comes on, I might not even need him to do that. But I'm not understanding what's happening. And so you looked at, we've been getting run over in the midfield while having quality midfielders. And I just don't understand. So you had two guys who can play the 6 and the 8, and there's nothing being done there. And then the back line, because Jesus Christ. We watched it in the Exeter game, and then we watched it in the United game where City got smacked, and then we watched it again in the game in the Champions League where Rico Lewis is a midfielder, but he's not a midfielder, and he's literally standing in the spot. And so we're going to watch this for 3 consecutive games, with 2 of them where the opponent actually was inferior in theory, as opposed to United. I would say United was probably not better than those other teams, right? I mean, okay, a little bit better, but they for sure are better than Exeter. But I mean, other than that, teams who could play with you, they smacked you in the face when you did that. Rico Lewis literally gets the ball and gets knocked over. He's unable to defend. He creates nothing going forward, and he's literally, because you saw Foden get frustrated and you saw Shirky get frustrated, he's in the way. So I'm struggling to see how the manager is watching this and not saying anything. And the fact that the players on the field watching this and are not saying anything, because I don't know, playing on the field, we kind of say, hey, man, you got to move, man. Like, we're talking at some point in time, like, dude, you're literally in my space. You're supposed to play right back. Go play right back, right? We don't need you to invert. We got it. Like we're getting
Well,
beat on counters.
Without Diaz, without Gavardio in that back line. So when you play a back line of Nico O'Reilly, Max Elaine, Alexander Kuzanov, and Rico Lewis, you have no leader. There's no and
Nothing.
Donnie Ruru can't be the leader because he's been there for 6 months, you know, and so and when Rodri isn't there and it's Nico Gonzalez in there, you're looking to Bernardo, I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't seem like the guy to yell at people as far as getting in your face type of captain. That seems more
No,
like what Rodri would do, right? Rodri's the
Rodri
guy that
or
should be
Diaz.
screaming at you.
And
And I
Rodri
imagine
is
John Stones would be a vocal
yeah,
captain as well, but he's
yeah,
never on the field either.
no.
So
And
right
so
now, there's not really a leader. And when you don't play a double pivot, that like you suggested a month ago, you've been saying it for honestly since the Leeds game. And if you look at it, versus Leeds, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, field day. Versus Brighton, Keru Matoma Kadioglu, absolute field day in behind the line. In behind the lines. Ibumo and Bruno in behind the lines. Exeter even had 3 or 4 chances in behind the lines. If what's his face for Newcastle could finish his dinner, that game would have been different because they got in behind the lines. This is a problem, man. This is a big problem. Everyone, all of your opponents are destroying this high line, and I don't want to, and no one's really going at Pep for it because of his history, right? Of his trophies, of his cabinet, so he's got more
there's other
credit.
issues. Yeah,
He's
but
got
there's
more
other
credit in the bank than anyone does, right? Lauren asked me about this. I made a joke about Ange Postecoglou and Pep to her, and she asked the serious question, why is like everyone on Thomas Frank and everyone on the Chelsea manager and everyone on these other guys, but not on Pep? And I was like, well, he's got all these trophies in the bank. That's why he's got the credit in the bank, but it only can go so far, right? You good? He's muted. But as far as what I'm saying is, he's got the credit in the bank, but he can only go so far with that credit, And so at some point, they're going to have to question somebody's going to have to say something, or Pep's going to have to humble himself a little bit, maybe. I don't know what it is. When Nez comes back, I'll definitely ask him about, whether or not Pep is having a little bit of, maybe it's a little bit of arrogance and he has to do thing. Is everything good?
Yeah. Random thing happening in the background.
Yeah, no worries. Yes. As long as it's all good.
Life happens and it's weird.
Oh yeah. But is it at some point, who's going to step up and say something to Pep? Who's going to question him at some point? Because there have been things that I've listened to today that have talked about how it's a little bit of arrogance that Pep doesn't want to change because he wants to still succeed his way. For a long time, his way has been the standard, the best way to play, and people have been copying him, and now that maybe he's trying this, and y'all have been playing this high line for a while.
Yeah.
For a while now, actually. And in recent weeks, though, it's just, you're almost looking like an Ange team.
Well, I think part of the issue that exists there is that the press is not good. Like the press is bad. And because the press is not good, the high line doesn't work. And so I think he believes that the press will work, and that's the bigger issue. And because they think that'll work, they think that'll cover it. And so Kusanov is fine as your second center half, who's your sweeper. But there again, it needs to be someone else. So he was covering it. Kyle Walker used to be there, so he would cover that. And so he thinks that fixes it, but I'm struggling to see from the results that are coming from it how you would continue to do it, right? It's literally insanity doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So then you have to really look at this and say, Now, I'll push back a little bit on this. He's generally stayed the same, but he's adjusted over time. Like the inverted fullback is a new thing that he did. I mean, other people did, but he like really pushed that. And then there's other things that he's done where he's adjusted his, the tactics to meet. But the thing about it is that what has been the most consistent thing that's been an issue is the fact that the adjustments have not been there. It's like there's plan A and plan A. And if we lose with plan A, that's it. Now that's where I'm going to be critical of it because there's no second plan. And I've been critical, and other supporters and fans and observers of the game have been critical of like his substitution patterns. He waits too long to make substitutes in many cases. And then the substitutes are very questionable. Like again, this is where the Savinho thing as an example is, you're like, okay, it got to be something in the contract, right? Which it could be. And that it's sort of in jest, but at the same time, we're sitting here still saying, okay, well, if that is indeed the case, but it's actually normal behavior for him to make those kind of weird in-your-face substitutions. And you're like, okay, well, that's so weird that you got to hope that, it's just his arrogance there, and he's hoping that it pans out or the guy finally gets it, but that's not happening. And so the thing that's weird is I don't understand what's happening. Like people are looking and people complain about lineups all the time with Pep, but in this specific case, the lineups are so erratically weird that you're really starting to question, what is he doing? And is it like self-sabotage? Because you're like, okay, why do you have Nico O'Reilly playing left back with Nori at right back, and then you're playing Rico Lewis as a holding? What are you doing? Like, why are those people playing in those positions?
Especially when Nico O'Reilly showed in the cup. In the Carabao Cup, that he can play the DM, and he's definitely
he's a midfielder,
more suited to be a bruiser than Rico Lewis ever was.
In addition, he was going to sit next to Rodri. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why that would happen that way.
Well, Asif, we're talking about how Pep might be a little bit stubborn and maybe not trying to change. It seems like everyone and their grandmother is saying they need to do a double pivot. What are your thoughts?
Depends.
Somebody next to Rodri.
Yeah, it works. It can work depending on the system that they use as well. Nico has been playing well. I think he deserves to be in the spot more than Rodri, given results, etc. But that would give him, as you know, it might ruin the balance of the team in regards to that. They may be defensively a bit more strong, but might take away a little bit from the attacking as well, depending on what formation they use.
What balance? There's literally no balance. They can't even score. Like, they don't score in open play. Like, I hear what you're saying, but there's nothing because in front of those, I hear you, because in front of those would be, because you take Bernardo out and you'd put Nico Gonzalez there, and you still would have the same front four. Like, you wouldn't even change the front four.
Doku, Haaland, Foden, and Semenyo?
Or Semenyo, any of them.
Your defense at the moment, it would need the extra cover. It would make sense. But once you get the defenders back, that who are out, like Diaz, for example, you might not need as much cover.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with that too. Now, because for this reason, because I've literally been here from last year and this year. Diaz is slow, man. And so they play a high line and he can't recover that. So, I mean, what? He's just going to yell? Right? That's not the answer. It's not the answer.
Well, remember my question when Max Allane was first recalled and he played Kusanov in the middle in that first game. Remember my question was, do you think that this is going to encourage the high line? Now, let me ask the converse question, because Mark Gahey does not necessarily seem suited to running as hard as he can towards his own goal. That's not really his, best aspect of defending. And that's what y'all are doing game in and game out. So will Mark Gahey perhaps encourage a deeper line?
No, because if we haven't played a double six and we haven't gotten rid of the high line when we played a 20-year-old center half in Champions League, you think that's going to change it? I mean, okay, did they need to get smacked in the face to maybe make a change? I don't know, because I mean, they should have got 6 or 7 dropped on them in that game, man. Like, they should have got smacked in the face. United should have won by more.
Mm-hmm.
United should have won by more. Like, they've literally been bad. Nothing that they're doing is working. And so to put like, hey, I understand pressing, right? I get that, but it didn't work. When they pressed against United, they kept doing it. And then Bruno was like, oh, well, I'm going to sit back here. And because there's no holding midfielders protecting your center halves, he's just finding pockets and he's killing them. Like, hey, yes, I've coached. I had a chance to coach soccer on every levels or football on every level, except the professional one. I feel fortunate on that. But I'm just watching the game and just being a student. I'm like, that what they're doing doesn't make any sense. And then the thing is that the other part that you're missing is you don't have the expansiveness on the wings. So now before we had guys overlapping, and now they don't overlap. So where did that go? Because when you put Ait-Nouri as a right back, well, he's not going to overlap. Why would he do that? Like,
What formation are you thinking then? Is
well, especially it depends on who your wingers are. So if you have Shirky and Foden as your wingers, they kind of tuck in a little bit more, and there is space for the overlaps. But when you have Doku and Semenyo, they are touchline wingers. And then when you have Ait-Nouri and Nico O'Reilly, who are supposed to overlap, it's like you're in each other's way.
But here's the thing. When Doku and O'Reilly play together on the left, they're fine because O'Reilly knows what to do there. O'Reilly can tuck in. O'Reilly can go out. Yeah. He knows what to do. But if you stick a left back on the other side, when it comes to he's done. If there's any counter, and he has to go backwards. And then you have you don't have a proper wing over there because Semenyo couldn't play there. And so what do? You stick Rico Lewis in the spot there, and then you got your right back, who's a left back, coming under him. Where's he supposed to go? So now you've created a giant gap on the left side, on the right side, and then what happens? And they got killed. Where did the goals come from? Look, where did the goals come from? They came from they came from over there.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's just, I mean, I hear what y'all saying. It's just, I'm looking, and literally, you can play a 4-4-2 where you have a holding and 2 holdings, and you have the 2 wide guys there, and you can have your 2 up top where one is playing a 10 and one you're playing a striker, a striker and a 10, or you can play two forwards because Haaland hasn't done anything either. He hadn't done anything. So there's no, and Marmouche, it was good he came back. It was good he was actually there.
Yeah. Because
at least he showed some energy because what is going on?
I think I know. I think I finally figured out what the solution is. Asif, I think I know what they're missing. They cannot wait. Time can't come soon enough for you-know-who to return for City and come back and be the man to win.
That would change the whole dynamic of the team.
If City came back to the team.
Gvardiol is the answer. You are absolutely correct because when Gvardiol comes back, he can play left back and he can play center half, and he fixes because Gvardiol was scoring goals when he played left back. I understand
for the season, man. Savinho is going to be back soon. Yeah,
got the wrong player there because Gvardiol out in the season.
What?
You remember the name Arino? Oh my God!
And you know the funny thing is to play along. I mean, at least when Savinho is on the right wing, what would happen is he would get the ball and he'd be like, you know what, I don't want to attack, and he would send it backwards, and then they would just reverse play and hold on to the ball. I mean, we got scored on less when he was there.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we just didn't score, but we're already still not scoring, so I guess it doesn't matter, right?
I guess not, And so now it's like Haaland doesn't know what to do. You've said it twice. You're not sure what's going on. I've heard other fans not really sure. Some people blaming the AstroTurf and the fact that it was like -20.
Nobody cares. Nobody
No,
cares.
not at all.
No one cares.
Especially when the population of the town is less than the capacity of the Etihad Stadium. There's no excuse for sure. But also, like, there was nothing new there. And you said there doesn't seem to be any adjustments. Well, the blueprint is there to beat you. Like I said, Dominic Calvert-Lewin versus Leeds was in all day. Brighton were in all day. Exeter had breakaways. Newcastle should have scored on, and so Bodo just knew exactly what to do. Runs from deep, quick in the transition, and you'll get breakaways with overloads. And that's what they did.
What I caught of it, the midfielders were too far apart and they gave him 2 minutes space. That's basically what it was.
That's why they need the double pivot. Rodri needs help. He doesn't have the legs.
Yeah, that's he doesn't. I think those injuries probably took him the toll on him as well.
But did the injuries affect his mind? Because he was making stupid decisions too. And I could understand if he wasn't playing, but like again, he's been back for 6 games, and it's been literally draws and losses. That's it.
I mean, but is that also a little bit desperation because he knows he's like backs to the wall because he's on an island in there? Especially like when Reinders is in there with him, when you have like Reinders and Foden, they both stay forward. Reinders stays forward, and Rodri gets left by himself.
And I'm gonna hear that, and then I'm gonna counter and challenge with the fact that when Reinders and Foden are in there, they're losing the ball. So if I'm losing the ball, or if I'm not doing anything with it, as a player, what should I probably do less of? So again, we gotta look at the team. There's a chemistry thing, and so if I'm Rodri, who's one of the captains, and I see you lose the ball, if I'm watching Foden go forward and lose the ball, I'm like, hey, Reinders, come back here with me. So since when do players not talk to each other while the game is going on? I'm not trying to hear that. That's losing your mind. That's communication. So you've played 6 games, and at no point in time did you say, hey, I see him losing the ball. Hey man, drop back in here, sit right here. I've literally watched these players tell guys where to go. When you play sports and you understand and you have an IQ for the sport, you tell where your teammates need to be. So I'm not trying to hear that, man.
But there's also a contrast with we spoke about this before we came on. There's also a contrast with what Pep is telling them, where he's telling them to be, and it just looks like y'all don't even losing. You know how in practice, and I don't know if the 5th place will definitely be there, I think, for Champions League for sure. But you know how in practice sometimes the coach will, and I don't know if you ever did this with any of the teams you coach, but the coach will like pick the ball up. And your team will be in your formation, and the coach will pick the ball up and like walk it over to another spot. And you're supposed to move how you would move if the ball went over there, right? It doesn't look like City are doing this at any point with this high line, right? And so you mentioned it earlier, how if the press doesn't work, the high line gets exposed, right? And so if you're going to play that high line, the way to keep Rodri from being exposed is the press has to be together. You have to be cohesive. And it looks like they don't really understand like how to follow the guys. It looks like they're trying to do it zonally and people get like left.
But here's my thing. Okay, so say, and I agree with that. So say that's the case. So why wasn't that happening when Nico Gonzalez was playing? That's here, man. There's no way that the same guy was playing and another guy was playing in that position and somehow they weren't doing the same thing. Come on, man. Like at some point we got to look at the players and be like, hey, you know what? That's on him.
So the question is, obviously, you guys are now, everybody's jokingly, but perhaps not jokingly, questioning Wolves at the weekend. City playing too many attackers here. Perhaps maybe they will against Wolves, thinking that they're going to smash them. But the question becomes, do you, and I know what you're going to say, because you've mentioned before that it might be time for Rodri to say bye-bye. But do you think Pep is going to change for the next 6 months to accommodate Rodri? Or do you think Pep will make the call and Rodri gets benched?
No, he's going to play. He's going to play because he got the red. So this is about starting to get confidence back. So I mean, okay, this is probably the best time to play a team the quality of Wolves. But hey, man, this is also
lost this year.
No, but I'm talking about like just if we're looking table wise quality, right? This is the best time to do it because you're like, okay, you got a hungry team, you should be better than them, you should be fine. He's absolutely playing him because that's what he does. But it's the rest of the lineup. Like, hey man, like we've literally watched where and I don't even know how to say that, but the too many attackers point. I mean, again, I already said the double six, so they probably ain't hear me. So that should literally be in effect now. There's no other reason to not do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That would accommodate Rodri is to play someone next to him.
It literally, but I said that before he had bad form. Before he had bad form, I said it because then I'm like, he could play the 8 and he can move back and forth, and then the guy sitting can protect him.
It's like Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi.
I'm not the manager. I'm sure other people know way more football, but I feel like you can try.
Right? Oh, no way. There's no way. Man City fans will lose it if Pep goes 3 at the back.
And who's the 3? Who's the 3? Because Gahey's playing the next game.
So he's got Max Elaine, Gahey, and Kusanov. And then you just sacrifice Reinders or Phil Frozen.
Maybe I want to see how he gets on, how he adapts to the Man City, how that high line as well. That's what I want to see next game.
I want to see it versus Wolves. I want to see if they play Gahey and the high line.
That's what they're gonna do. I mean, Diaz is slow, so it's no different. He's going to do it, right? What I want to see is, are we gonna play Ryan Aït-Nouri at right back again? That's what I want to see. Are we going to play Rico Lewis again at wherever he's playing because he's just in the way? That's what I want to see. That's what I'm trying to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Asif? Wolves got something for us at the weekend?
Could bring a surprise the way Man City are playing. Especially with that defense, it's looking as leaky as ours. So even though we got a clean sheet against Marseille,
we'll get on to that. I want to talk about that game. We'll get there for sure.
But it could bring a surprise if they look at the tactics that Bordeaux and Manchester United have played against them. They could spring the surprise if Pep does stick to the way they play at the moment, unless he changes something. Yeah, I could see Wolves actually getting something out of the game. You never know. But yeah, I think something to be aware of.
And another thing is the funny point about the playing so many attackers, but somehow we can't break down anybody. Like, I mean, so you playing too many attackers, it ain't no create. I mean, respectfully, I'm going to give Shirky credit because he's been playing. He's been good the whole time. Like, he's found his way. Foden has been bad. He should not be starting. Bernardo shouldn't be there, but I know he plays him all the time. But I mean, again,
legacy minutes.
But it's
legacy minutes.
So here's the thing, because I don't know if we're going to go there. So the question was about you asked the question in the chat about the money that they've spent, right? And so yes, for sure, absolutely, every team. We could play right now. We could put an 11 together, and we have the ability to kill him on the counter. They don't do anything.
Asif's got some speed, man.
No, he's pretty fast. So I'm saying we can kill him. All we got to do is go down the right side. Right, we just attack their right back. I mean, the left side. Attack the right back. We're gonna cook him because it's Rico Lewis. You just blow on him, he'll fall down. But the point that you made a good point, and I wanted to address it because I thought it was a good a talking point in public. You mentioned how much money the team spent, right? And I think that's important because I can't even remember exactly what I said, but I said, the thing about it is that City is buying players that are deemed as world class. And so the price tag goes with that, and the expectation goes with that. And a point that I didn't mention, but I wanted to have here is, if we look at the money that this team has spent, which people can criticize, whatever, is the first thing, and you've brought this up in the past, is these teams are in business to make money. And so for City, if I'm going to outlay XYZ pound sterling for something, what do I need to achieve to get my investment back? Well, last year they outlaid that money, and what did they need to achieve? They needed to get in the Champions League. The world saw they weren't good enough to win the league. Right. So the goal was get Champions League. Liverpool was clear. Even though, Arsenal was there for a little while, as it went on, Liverpool was head and shoulders the best team. No problems, right? But City was there, solid third, right? But when the money was spent, it was meant to be like, we have to make Champions League. So that's what they did. This year, did the same thing. Started the year like they did. They brought in guys. And they spent. Now, the funny thing is they haven't overspent for anyone, because people talking about the amount of money is kind of crazy, because they've not overspent on anyone based on like valuations, right? Because the thing about it is that if you look.
Yeah, but wages come into it too.
Well, I'm going to get there in a second. So, because we're looking at, okay, we're replacing guys, right? So if we're comparing how much Mark Gahey cost to how much it costs to get John Stones, then you're like, okay, that's a net nothing. Because Stones is gone, the wages Stones was going to make is gone. So Gahey literally just replaces that block. But we're not looking because we're not looking at it in the sense that the team is old. They're getting rid of guys, and so they're just doing that. The point is to make Champions League, right? And so when we talked about Chelsea. And then we talked about Arsenal spending money, and we talked about Liverpool. Every one of those teams are spending money to make Europe. That's it. Like, do they? Let's be honest, right? That again, let's be honest about the thing. Now, again, the funny thing about these things is that we don't have any numbers, right? We don't have any real numbers from like the teams letting that out, because they let those numbers out.
Brizio said it. It's got to be true.
Well, but here, even if that's the case, right? It's their team. They have the money, and they did what they needed to do to get what they wanted, right?
This is exactly what he's talking about right now. Is that everyone is overvalued.
Everyone.
Everybody is overvalued.
So when people are coming at City about whatever, because so for example, let's use Crystal Palace. So first of all, they paid 20 or 30 for Mark Gahey, right? And then they're going to pay his wages. We don't know what the wages are, but again, because it's City, then whatever the number is, they're lying. If it sounds low, they're lying, right? Just like the Haaland thing. Well, yeah, he had a release clause, but they didn't pay that. Okay, fine. If that's the case, right? If that's indeed the case, even though we're literally watching other people. So Liverpool bought Wirtz, right? Wirtz chose where he went. They paid a bunch for Wirtz. He makes a bunch of money. And Liverpool got killed for a little while because he wasn't producing. But now that he's producing, crickets. Right? And what is Liverpool replacing? Liverpool is replacing a spot that's gone. Because, hey, Mo Salah is leaving. And so the money he makes and the money they paid for him is essentially, as a business, it's just being replaced for that. And so it's a net zero, right? If I'm running a business. And so if this guy helps me get to where I need to be, which is a Champions League spot, then as a businessman, that was exactly what was supposed to happen. Because then let's talk about another Crystal Palace player, Eze, right? You guys paid a ton of money for him. I don't hear any criticism of Arsenal for that purchase. None. And he does not play. Right?
There's some criticism for that, but not for how much we paid for him, no.
But imagine if City bought a player at that price and didn't play him.
Yeah, but see, Manchester United are different. They're just, everyone goes for Man U. They're the ones that are always in the news, no matter what they're doing. They suck. They suck, and they're still in the news every single day.
And here's the thing. That, like, he picked Doku and Savinho, but we're gonna skip the fact that we signed Laporte. And like I can name tons of players that have been successful, so we can't cherry pick because then if you're saying, well, they're mid players, but then the argument is when they're good, oh well, they buy the best players. You can't have both of those arguments,
Right?
Because those arguments don't work. Because now Gahey is a mid player, even though he starts for England, and everybody wanted him, but he's a mid player, right? Like, come on, man. Like he's 25, and
Are you
it's
a Wolves
funny.
fan?
Well, again, the thing about it is I'm separating fandom from the insanity that people are talking, because the thing about it is every team has spent money.
Yeah.
And to be in the top 6 to play in Europe, so people have the place.
He's talking to me.
No.
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not even hating. I'm not hating on United. I'm not hating on United because they paid a bunch of money for Anthony.
Yeah, they got lambasted for it as well.
Yeah, but they didn't. But did City pay the same money for Doku as they did for Anthony? Yeah, see, I don't want to hear that, man. Nobody
Because
came in.
United do have spent a lot of money on dud players. So.
Tons. Like nobody trying to hear that, man. But the point being is that they're trying to, our scouting department is doing X, Y, Z, right? That's what they're trying to use. Now, City, now we can use City and say, okay, they've signed good play. Is Kusanov good?
I think so.
So what's the problem, right? Is Reinders good?
Very much so.
So tell me where the bad signings are. Now, is the issue the team concept?
Calvin Phillips wasn't necessarily your best signing.
So let's use Calvin Phillips, but then we say that I just literally said Kusanov and Reinders, and I didn't even mention Shirky, right?
I know where you're going. I know where you're going with this.
A bunch of great players that were signed, but we gonna pick the one, right? We're gonna pick one. And
what about your favorite player of all and the extra money they spent on him and gave him?
But I've been
so all I'm saying is there have been duds, but everyone has duds. Everyone has duds. We signed Nicolas Pepe for $90 million and let him go on a free. So yeah, everybody has some dumb shit in the closet.
Please put the last comment up because I'm gonna eat that one. Let's go.
Here we go.
So now I know 1999 at Man U won a treble?
Yes.
And then Jack Grealish and anybody who pretends to say he wasn't important to the treble has completely missed it. Because I promise you, would you spend 100
games, didn't he?
Would you spend 100 million to do something that's only been done in the league twice? Well, actually, once before that. It was been done once before that. Would you spend 100 million for that?
I'd spend $1 billion for that.
Miss me with that.
In comparison to Anthony, it was that 100 million.
I ain't even gonna compare. I'm not even comparing. Would you spend 100 million to create history that only 2 teams have ever done? Miss me with that.
I mean, here's the thing about that one, about the Jack Grealish thing. Scott Carson's medal is just as gold as Jack Grealish's, And so although he didn't contribute this, he didn't contribute that. I mean, he played in 50 games. That sounds like a contribution, but that's a whole nother thing, But at the end of the day, the pressure is definitely on. The pressure is 100% on, and Pep's gonna have to figure something out because it doesn't get any easier. Especially, I think
the figuring out is he gonna stay? I think does he extend the contract because. The thing, and I think you said this or Asif sent this, the rumblings about other managers, this is probably the first time in Pep's career that there's ever been rumblings about someone replacing him. First time ever. But this is his fault because he consistently goes in press conferences and says, I'm not going to be here forever and I don't want to coach until I'm an old man. You can't do that and then get rattled when the next guy up is ready to take over. You can't do that. You can't get rattled from that.
That's the point I made in the chat with us guys. I think that's something that could be affecting him as well, and his maybe even Pep's decision making at the moment.
Okay, but I do want to give Man United credit because I don't know if we mentioned this, but hey, they got it right, man. And I've never thought I don't hate them in the sense of hating, and I don't hate people, so that's a really struggle. Do I love beating them? Yes, they absolutely should have scored more against City than they did, and they absolutely should bask in the whooping that they gave them. Absolutely should. And if they can manage, if City finds a way to find form and United finds a way, hey, maybe United makes it in the Champions League. But right now, looking at the table, City has enough points where they should be okay and above United. And so, I mean, if we're going to take shots, right? How many consecutive years will City have finished above United if it just stays this way? So, again, respect to United. They won. They have way more top flight success history than City. They don't have more history. They have way more top flight success as far as trophies. But we don't live in History FC, because I think I sent you the thing, because
they're making a documentary.
Glazers are milking that. They just pulling all the money out they can. So, hey, I hope the United fans love watching the Netflix or whatever thing is, the TV show about United being a great team, and they can continue to live in the past.
I'd just like to point out the second in terms of trophies
It's Liverpool.
Just to point that out.
For sure. And Liverpool has literally won more recently, even though when we get to the Liverpool point, the comment Slot made was a little bit of a dig that I appreciated him making. I like that one.
Yeah, that one was funny. I don't think that this is a bit disingenuous. I feel like Man United were absolutely fantastic versus City at the weekend. The expansive, the space that they played with, it was risky, it was brave, but they found the quality and brought the quality, and the space that they were able to find was phenomenal.
That team was built for counter-attacking.
But the funny thing is Asif, what Asif is saying and what you've said for weeks about Man United, why don't they play countering attacking football? And then they did it and they won. And what's City not good at? Defending counter-attacking football. So I understand that, it's like, hey, United wasn't good. Well, you know what? If you don't feel United were good, I hope you're bad for the rest of the season. I mean, hey, I'm a roll where you at. You want them to be bad, they go there.
Annual performance for this. Hey, that's fine with me. That's totally fine with me. I don't need to see another performance from you guys at all.
If you remember when we was on the pod before the derby, what did I say? Did I pick City? I said, hey, it's a derby. I don't know. I literally said that because derbies are derbies.
Absolutely. Well,
I live in reality.
Segues are weird, and I'm going to take a shot right at you for this segue, because I heard something about how, maybe Pep's getting run out of the league. He's just tired. A certain somebody else got ran out of the league, Asif. He was a little bit tired last season, a couple seasons ago, wasn't he? A little bit tired, and maybe that's what's happening to Pep. But we won't talk about such things, will we? However, Liverpool away in France versus Marseille tonight, it was a fantastic performance. I thought, we all think Pep's leaving for sure. It was a fantastic performance, I thought, from Liverpool. And I thought what I wanted to ask you about is your box midfield when you don't have the ball. And the fact that Wirtz comes way in. Even when you do have the ball, Wirtz comes way in. So do you think, as my banner here at the bottom says, that Florian Wirtz settling into his kind of left winger / center midfield role has really kind of helped you guys? Because you're 13 games unbeaten right now. Do you believe that?
Definitely helped. I think when I mentioned the first, I think it was one of the first times he came onto the program, and I was like, Slot made tweaks so he can get the best out of his form, and I think he's done that. And we saw a pickup on his form since then, since the little changes to his position. I think going forward, that's what we need to do. He's looking great, as you know. With the knocks, with being that British record transfer signing. Obviously, if he's not scoring every game, if he's not giving an 8 out of 10 performance, at least they're going to knock him. But I'm feeling a lot more confident. You can see the confidence. He's put some muscle on. You can tell he's trying to adapt to the league. So I'm feeling really good about Wirtz. I think he's going to show us a lot more going forward. This is just his first season. I think there's a lot more to come from him. Yeah, I can't knock Cherky, for example. Brilliant player, but they signed him for a lot less than Wirtz as well. So if you're looking price comparison wise, obviously Cherky wins it. But I think a lot more potential from to see from Wirtz going forward. I'm just happy the way he's, like I say, Premier League, as we all know, is a demanding league. It's a lot more physical, which is why I'm glad he put the hours into the gym. You can see that as well. Our performance against Marseille was spot on. Like you say, I'm not the most happiest with our defence at the moment, but we've got a clean sheet. That's all that matters.
Hey, you said Joe Gomez playing would matter. There you go, man.
Yeah, I did tell you.
Called it last week.
What happened to Konate? He wasn't even in the team.
Doesn't even care.
That guy is a liability, and I keep saying that he's got individual.
Oh no, he had a family thing. Sorry, I did remember the commentator said he had like a family emergency or something.
Well, that may have and that might have worked in our favor.
Well, we obviously hope everything's okay with whatever happened, but yeah, I thought Gomez was good.
Yeah, Gomez was good. If he stays fit, I'd like to see him in there. Obviously, he's understandably.
Yeah, I agree with that comment.
With Konate and family issues, obviously, these things happen. But for me personally, I always think he's got a mistake in him for the game. He does not. I'd rather sell him. If someone wants to come in, Real Madrid or whoever linked with him previously they can take him. You can take 25 million. I'd be happy with that. So get ourselves another defender. But
Salah was in the game too, man. Right back here.
Salah, yeah. Who knows what's happening with him? He might. I think it probably might be even the summer before.
You think he goes?
Let's see.
I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say something. Obviously,
you have to.
As I'm hosting the show, he was dog, man. He was hot dog water. I remember thinking to myself, man, that looks like an AFCON hangover if I've ever seen one. He had some poor touches today.
They need to give him a towel.
Just let him go. We're actually doing better without him. So let's.
He played the whole game.
But they're obviously going to try and work him back into the team.
Yeah, man.
So you got to figure out. He's got to find form somehow. He's just as stinky as he was before he left. And again, it was just the one game, but
hey,
no one's going to get him in winter transfer window. I think it'll be a summer transfer.
Yes, that's what they were.
This is exactly what they played today. That's what I was talking about. And it was 100% effective. It was incredibly effective because of the way that Marseille played with their three midfielders really narrow, and Tim Weah and their left-sided players, Traore, were really wide on the touchline, right? But Mason Greenwood would kind of sort of come and try to help with the overload in the midfield, but then he would get kind of swallowed. And y'all just had such an overload in the midfield that they never figured out. They never, ever figured it out. And so they tried to play through the middle. You beat them. You got the ball. They tried to play out wide. It was too slow. They had no answer.
His tactics were spot on. My thing with Slot, if I'm nitpicking with him, it's because of his substitutions. He does it too late. He's reactive instead of proactive, and that's my thing with Slot, and that's just my. I don't know if you've ever seen the games where you can see there's the problem, but he identifies it so late, and then sometimes you'll be like, yeah.
Well, the funny thing is to kind of copy that point. Somebody said something about Slot where they said, "Hey, well, is he really a good manager because he won with Jurgen's players?" And I'll counter that with Jurgen won once, but Jurgen didn't win with his own players. So you got to give Slot some credit because he won with players that Jurgen had, right? And so he did enough to figure it out. I mean, they looked good winning the league last year. It wasn't like they like kind of limped across the line. They looked good.
No,
Now,
they ran away with it.
mind you, Mo Salah was in like bang. If that was the last great one from Mo Salah, you couldn't have picked a better time. And so, do you account for Klopp in that, or do you say that Slot kind of let the thing happen? And if that's what happened with Salah, then that means it could happen with Verts or whatever players that he brings in, where he gives those guys that freedom. So the fact that Salah had an issue with him is the ego thing, where maybe he finds a way to find the balance. He just needed to go on a footballing vacation and come back. Now, again, I can see your point where Liverpool does look lost sometimes, but I think it's also connected to the quality of players. You just mentioned a couple of guys that probably shouldn't be in your team. And I think if you replace those guys, then I think you have an improvement. But I mean, according to the world, you can't spend money on your team, because if you spend money to replace a player, then then you're buying the league, or look, they always spend money to get out of it. Because I've never heard of any organization that used their profits to invest back into their company to make their company just as good or better than it was before.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
No.
So, Asif, what do we think of this right here? Nope, the one before it. If the move going forward is Gakpo left, Verts left, Ekitike down the middle, Isak instead of Salah.
Oh, Isak, ain't he
Isak,
gone?
I think he's out for a while though. But
I'm just saying, moving forward, like, do you think that would work?
Yeah,
that would work. I think that would work. It depends on how Isak's
that's the team, ain't it? Ain't that going to be the team next year? That's pretty much sounds like the team.
Yeah, but as Aaron mentioned, if Salah gets benched, that's going to cause some problems internally. So
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna be too harsh here, because I know you're probably a big Mo Salah fan. But if this does happen, if he gets benched for a couple of games, and he does if he goes scorched earth again in the media, man, what is it saying about his legacy? He's really hurting his legacy with that kind of crap. It'd be much better for him to put his head down and do what's best for the team for 6 months, and then off you go.
I think so. I think the people around Liverpool will probably tell him if he's ever around Liverpool, will be like, they're very straight talking people in the Scousers. So,
I think, if I'm being honest, if he does cry again, that's a maturity issue on him. And what that essentially says is that he's done in Europe. He's for sure going to Saudi if he does that again.
I think he is going to go to Saudi.
I think he was going to go there anyways, but I can almost guarantee if he does it again, he's done it. Like, what European? Because I think if he finishes out the season, he looks pretty decent. Because there were rumors that Roma wanted him again, right? I think he could play in Europe again. I think he'd do great in Italy, right? He could go back. He played at Fiorentina. He played at what did I just say? Roma. He played at Roma. Yeah. I think he'd do well there. Would he get paid like he wants to get paid? Probably not. But if he still wants to play Champions League football, he still wants to be recognized, then that matters, because the Saudi thing, while you get paid, you lose the profile. And I think the profile matters, because, like, for example, Mane, who had a fantastic African Cup of Nations, could still be playing in Europe, but he's not. And it's not because he's not good anymore. It's because where he is lacks the profile. Right. And so, I mean, I
think he'd be like the new poster boy for.
But also, Mane is like he's won everything, and now he's got the AFCON as well. And Senegal have made the World Cup, so he's got that tournament right here in at the maybe not his peak, but he's not necessarily over the hill yet, and so he's still going to be able to be the talisman in a World Cup, and so. But he's done it, right? He's done football. He's done it all.
Out of a thing, just out of context, just in context, sorry. The Saudi team that he played for, Ronaldo's team, actually their results when they were unbeaten before he left for a AFCON, and now they've lost like 2-3 in a row.
Yeah, but nobody and that's.
He plays with Ronaldo. You said with Al Nassr.
Yeah. But here's the thing, like, but nobody even knows. I put this because I thought of this when you were saying that. If you had a chance at Liverpool to switch Salah for Mane right now, would you do it?
Yeah.
See, but that's my point. Like, he's still good. He would still be good enough to be playing, and I agree. I would take that switch. I would take that. And
at the moment, the way Salah's playing at the moment compared to where Mane's playing.
Mane never dropped off, right? Like, he was always a good player.
He'd always not, even if he's not having a good game, you could see the work rate coming.
He's certainly a leader.
Yes, and he wouldn't go, and no offense to Salah, but he wouldn't go to the press. He'd keep, even if he wasn't happy.
He would fight you on the field, though, because we're not going to skip that at Bayern he was fighting. So we're not going to let him go, because we're going to call him out.
I don't care. If he fights on the field, that makes sure that shows his passion.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Just because he's better on pants.
That's cool, man. That's cool. It's funny, but that's cool.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if maybe Salah won't steal towels. No.
But
anyway.
to give credit to Liverpool, because again, even it's a funny thing. I think people may be perplexed about me because as a City supporter, but also as a lover of football, I'm able to separate the two, right? And so, like, what City supporters like, hey man, respect the Liverpool, but I respect them because I think they're good. United,
you guys all respect Liverpool. This whole City Pool rivalry is not a thing. Even you guys are great friends. What are you talking about?
Well, no, but then, like, I was going to talk about United. Like, I got buddies that are United fans. I mean, I don't hate United. Do I want to beat them every time we play?
I hate United with a passion.
But think about it. But I'm just sort of looking at it from you're an Arsenal supporter, like every year, just right there breathing, right? And so, I get it, man.
I have no, out of putting this on this subject, I have no problem with Arsenal supporters, but some of them can be a bit delusional.
Jake knows that they say crazy stuff.
Yeah, they say that every year we're going to win the league or we're going to win the Champions League, and then it comes May, June.
I only said we're going to win the league one time.
I'm not talking about you, Jake.
10 minutes later, I was like, oh, I should probably take that back.
When I discuss this with Gunners in London, in action, when I'm in London for work or whatever, I see them, and they'll be like, "Yes, we're going to do this, we're going to do that," and the level of delusion is. Yes.
What? Here's the thing.
At least you're more grounded, Jake.
Yes, and if you were not a sane Arsenal supporter, I probably wouldn't be here. But the thing is, I'm saying this because I think. You see this? Hey, man, look.
Hey, you can never have too much love. It's all love.
I just think City supporters and Liverpool supporters, literally, I know they hate United. They just can't stand them.
I personally can't stand United, but
and City supporters can't stand United either. So I think it's a mutual enemy thing, right? Maybe it's the word that was there. Hey man, I'm just making sure I'm watching out. I want to make sure the show stays where it is. Right?
They were always pretty close.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So.
There you go.
But but even though the funny thing is, I'm being completely honest because I had no idea that Arsenal plays United this weekend.
Yep.
No idea until I just looked. And hey man, if I'm gonna be honest, even though it doesn't benefit me personally, I actually would prefer to see Arsenal smack United, and that does nothing for me.
Of course you would.
Hey, man, it feels like, first of all, being honest, I kind of want to get this over with, man. Can we just get this thing over with, right? Because I need Jake to walk around and find a crown to put on, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not even going to be mad at that, right? But I need it to be over with because if we keep with the delusion that, okay, City's going to make a run, which, I mean, I would love for them to do, but in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I don't feel like we earning it right now because I feel like Pep ain't learning nothing. He's not learning anything. And the City players are so arrogant where they're like, oh, well, we'll be. No, sir, you can't keep using the what you did 3 years ago thing. Stop it. Oh, what's this?
Need them to
United thinks they're back after one result. Hey, I need a nice
would be
3-0
happy with
this
that,
weekend
man.
as
I
well.
would be happy with that.
Hey, support. Hey, Donnie is a Chelsea fan. Support the Donnie. Let's go. That's my boy right there.
But
Is this Donnie that I met in Charlotte?
Yes, that's Donnie. Yes.
What's up, dude? Hey,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, hell yeah. That's what's up, man.
speaking
But
about this weekend, we're playing Bournemouth. So
yeah, I was gonna say before we move on,
I don't even know
let's
who play. What does that mean?
away to Bournemouth is
that's
gonna be tough.
Banana skin. So
Well, they also just conceded like a last second bicycle kick away to Brighton.
But that was crazy, man. That was crazy.
That was nuts.
That was crazy.
That was a crazy game for sure. For sure. So Bournemouth are going to be up for it.
Put the United dude back up there. Like what the way that what? First of all, I'm gonna need United to put a couple of things. Hey, Jake? Do you see why I'm fine with you smacking them? Like, please, 6, 7, 8-0.
Hey, we know y'all are doing a bit better, and yes, you got the one result
Come on now,
room, but you did finish 15th last season.
Like, come on, man.
Let's not forget.
What are we talking about right now?
And now that the blueprint, now that old Mikel Carrique's blueprint is out there, I'm sure Arteta's got something cooking. But what are you telling me, Asif? You think you guys can beat Bournemouth? Should be buoyed. Should be buoyed.
I think it's a potential banana skin. I really do think so. So I'd be happy with the win.
31 too.
But with a
draw. It's on the road. It's on the road.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's on the road as well.
I don't know about that.
I'd say
it's the G-Tech.
I don't know about that one.
I'd be happy with a draw. I because of our defense, I'm not feeling too confident. If
Konate should be back in.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm not. If he plays, I will. I will expect it.
But Liverpool should be absolutely motivated. First, they're in fourth, right? And I mean, that'd be a big
13 unbeaten, man. 13 unbeaten.
The young striker. I don't know if you've obviously Ivan's
dude. Krupi, Max Krupi is killing it, dude.
He's a really good player. The next couple of seasons, we're going to see a lot more from him. I've seen him play. His way he strikes the ball and not too much back.
So wait, you're allowed to look at a player that it becomes prospectively better, and so
he can always put.
I will stop.
And the other striker, the Brazilian one who plays from Ivanson, I think he can cause us problems as well. So.
Yeah, it's I expect that game to be, because there's a certain familiarity in the Premier League, right? Marseille and De Zerbi they don't see you every week. So they're not necessarily ready for what you guys had. Iriola's going to have something for you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow, is this true?
Yeah, it's but
they're due. That means they're due.
That's what I mean. And the way they're playing at the moment, Bournemouth, they have impressed me. So I can see him at least scoring this weekend. Hopefully not.
First of all, I don't think that Liverpool's defense is that great. And I have a lot of nerve saying that, but I'm still saying what I saw.
I was just about to say that.
But I'm still saying what I see because I can function as a neutral. So yes, that's what I see.
What is this neutrality you speak of?
I just did it.
I was just going to say, I was just going to say, pot a kettle. Yeah.
I could understand if I was delusional that City had a good defense, but I ain't that dude.
That's fair.
That dude.
That's
but
fair.
I think that's going to actually that's a very good 12:30 game.
Is it the lunchtime? Yep, sure is.
12:30. That's a very good one.
That's going to be a fun one. Absolutely. But as we know, segues are weird. The Arsenal, top of, as it says,
world,
everything.
Yeah, it's top of the world, man.
And it's been a very interesting week for me, as after the Forest game, I was not excited at all. And my man Anton from the Football Terrace, Ron Ball it is then, nice. My man Anton from the Football Terrace, and of course, Fire Them Cannons podcast. You should go check that out with him and Cal, of course. He's been giving everyone therapy, and he had to give me a therapy session. And I'm starting to see his point of view. And the Arsenal fan base has been split kind of into two camps. There's this camp where, and I've been in this camp for a bit, where we have to show mentality of killers, of ruthless finishing and putting teams away 100% of the time, every single game, or else it's doomsday. Yeah, see this right here. This right here is another thing. If the world devolves into madness before Arsenal wins the league, I'm going to be upset as well. I'm going to be absolutely livid.
We kind of
well.
Just so you know, we are a little close.
No, that's why this is a poignant comment, because it's like it could happen. Anyway, you know, there's one group of Arsenal fans where it's like, if we're not perfect every game, oh my God, oh no, oh my God, PTSD, you know. And then there's the other group who, before they were able to take those glasses off and have realized long before I did that this City team really isn't the City of old. And now, yes, we've said that before. I have made the point that I don't want that to be the reason I believe in my team. I want my team to be amazing and unstoppable, and that's why I believe.
And they're good.
But in spite of myself, you guys are awful right now. You're terrible, man. And it's like you're kind of convincing me that, okay, maybe I shouldn't be as scared. Maybe it's like, okay, you know, maybe when we draw to Forest, an away ground that's pretty tough, maybe I don't have to freak out, you know, because looking forward on your fixtures are really hard in the next 3-4 games. So we have a chance because we have easier games coming up.
Now,
we're not going to Anfield, and we're also not going. I mean, we will go to play Tottenham soon, but Tottenham is a City bogey team, you know. But we're not. Go ahead.
Hold on, man. Like, I'm gonna, again, because I'm conceding nothing, but looking at the table and the points, as much as, you know, you got them back one. Are we gonna keep, like? And I know there's no Villa supporters here, but Villa's right there. So you might be sitting here focusing on us. Oh, I'm just saying, Villa's next couple of games are not like world-beating games.
I did one hate watch. I did a Villa hate watch.
You better do the rest of them.
Last Sunday.
Yeah, they lost everything.
They were bad.
Yeah, but again,
they were bad.
While I hear what you're saying, they're still in the same spot we're in, and who says they don't make a run? Like, I mean, we have to understand.
I do.
Okay, well, I'm just saying the January window's not closed, and
they sold Daniel Malen, and they haven't replaced him.
I hear everything you're saying.
They could. They've got a history of doing it at the last minute. So
there you go.
I wouldn't. I just say you need to focus on you and don't worry about anybody else. But I've stayed that because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Because
here's the thing about the set piece. Here's the thing about the set pieces, man. Yes, at times in 8 now of our games, our first goal has been a set piece goal.
Yeah.
But also we have not lost after scoring the first goal in 50 games. So there's that. But also the people are like wondering, why has no one been able to stop the free kicks? Why has no one been able to handle Arsenal corner kicks? It's very, very simple. The precision of the service on a consistent basis over and over and over again. I was watching the Marseille Liverpool game today. Yeah. Mason Greenwood could not get the ball over the first guy. Virgil van Dijk was just all day, header away all day over the first post. That doesn't happen with Declan Rice and the Bukayo Saka. They're almost on an Olympico every single time. You know, they're almost dunking it into the back. It's the precision of the service. And whatever's happening in the box has variety. And so sometimes the fact that the shortest guy is the one going around to the front post, i.e. Martinelli versus Portsmouth, but it's the consistency of the precision that is absolutely killing teams. And it's not like, oh, we need to figure out how to deal with it. There isn't a way to deal with it. It's just really, really difficult to deal with it. That's why people are putting men on the goalkeeper and trying to put the service. It's all about the service, man. And so, yeah. I mean, but it's a weapon, and it's something that we're absolutely using to our advantage. And the point about our attack developing some consistency, the thing is, when teams don't come out against us, we don't necessarily look great. But when Inter didn't sit back versus us, and we pressed them high, and we absolutely smashed them. We made it look easy. It wasn't easy, but we made it look easy because of the fact that they came out. It wasn't a low block like we always face.
One thing about Arsenal that impressed me is they always look for the small details, the set pieces, blocking the goalkeeper, like someone said over there as well. These little tweaks that they do always makes a difference.
But those details matter. Like those details, and like you notice, I don't complain about stuff like that because I think it's an American saying, but it's one. I'm not saying this is what it is, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. First, second, you got to find the smallest things. Find what you're good at and go from there. I mean, people have been talking about the dark arts with Arsenal for the last 3 seasons, and that's fine. Like the thing is, if that's what's working, that's what's working. So, I just think that yes, it's that right there. Because yes, the service matters, but when your guys are in the right place and they know where to go, that's even more important than the service. Because think about it. Because in those set pieces, you've also had own goal has been a bunch for you too, and that's connected to the chemistry of the team. Is there some fortune in there? Yes, but sure. Own goal is own goal because you've pressured the team to do that. Right? Like the pressure creates that. So again, because I try to function as a neutral because I think it makes it more fun to like be able to kind of move around. Yeah, I can see that. Like the Liverpool team, I think they said Firmino and Mane, and I see that now. Mind you, if we look at the way Jake, you've classified Gyökeres, he's the Firmino. Firmino didn't score a bunch of goals. He didn't. Mane and Salah scored all the goals. And realistically, and I know this will probably annoy you because you don't love him. If Kai Havertz was able to do what that was, you could have had that before. Just hold the ball up, distribute it around, get your assists, score a goal every now and then. But that's not what he did. But Gyökeres is at least doing that, right?
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, Asif.
With Arsenal, I think the team is pretty complete. I think with Gabriel with the set pieces, they look a lot more of a threat.
Well, also
when he was out, the set pieces didn't as threatening because he's a very big presence in the box. When he's there, at least 2 people are like on him, or at least around him in the zonal marking, and that takes away from the less pressure on the other guys as well for the set pieces. When he's not there, you can see a bit of a difference in the set pieces.
But also another big thing that we haven't talked a ton about it, and I agree. I think it was one of them who made the comment. You have the best center back pairing in the world. Like I'm just gonna be honest. You have the best center back pairing in the world, so you're not looking for one to say something. The other one plays off the other one, which goes to the point of what was it, the BX Gunner, which maybe is the Bronx. I don't know, but the chemistry is there. Like it matters that those guys are there. That's it. Like that pairing matters because if I go back to the city teams, I can tell you my center back pairings. I can tell you Laporte and Otamendi. I can tell you Vinny and Laporte. I can tell you Diaz and Stones. Like I can tell that those pairings matter. Absolutely. And so if that's the case, because for example, when Liverpool won, you had Van Dijk and not the last one, the one they won before when they won championship.
The COVID season.
Who was the center? Who's the center back pairing for him? Because I think it was the dude that they got rid of, but he was like okay, but Van Dijk was like at his peak.
Not you're not talking about Dejan Lovren.
No.
Joel Matip?
Yes. But think about they worked well together.
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is that the center back pairing, which I personally like defense, so I think that's what it is that's super important because that means that Rice doesn't have to sit back there and Moreno doesn't have to sit back there because, hey man, they're doing what they need to do. It's funny because go ahead.
No, it just reminds me of how Arsenal used to play previously when they had the Tony Adams Keown pairing.
That matters, man.
That's the last
it matters. And I mean, we've talked about the scoring.
You guys, Saliba, Gabriel, I think
that best center back pairing in the world. Yeah, and the first thing I think about is the Italian teams. The Italian teams, when the center back pairings is, you're like, okay, you're not beating those guys.
I think attacks win games, but defenses win leagues.
And to Asif's point, Jake, how many times have you talked about, hey, I'm good with 1-0s? Because you can get those. Yeah. You literally can get those. And so, okay, they're not going to be able to get.
Arsenal were famous for them before.
Well, I don't know what the points are, so I'm going to miss that. But okay, so they're 1 goal away from 15. They're probably not going to get to 15. But would you be happy? But would you be happy with 16?
Well,
I mean, in a trophy?
I don't care. I don't give a shit if we concede 50 goals and win the trophy.
But that's where I think it's sort of that pairing is good. So yeah. What does that do?
I'm gonna go through some of these comments right quick. This one here when Arsenal at their best, I agree with this because we're pressing the hell out of everybody like Liverpool used to, like Klopp's Liverpool used to do. This one here, taking the risk on the corner kick. Chelsea did it once, Monaco did it once, and here's the follow up to that. If we do that, they won't put everyone forward to attack. But you know what we will do? We're going to take the corner kick short, and we're going to have less people to defend, and it'll be like a 5-a-side in the box. I guarantee that's what we'll do. We'll instead of hitting it in to where the goalkeeper just has plenty of space to go for it, we'll hit it short and beat the guy and have an attack on the near post. Not having clinical star players, I think Saka needs to step up. We definitely need to be more ruthless with our opportunities, but Saka needs to step up and be the guy for sure. We do miss a lot of chances, but I think to this point here, Gyökeres' last goal could be he kicks on. I think he's kicked on from the Chelsea goal. Personally, everyone was shit against Forest. We're going to put that to the side. I think the Chelsea goal gave him a boost. And here to this point, I was actually going to disagree a little bit. Gyökeres may be kind of filling the Firmino role. He's certainly not a Firmino type. He may be fitting the role that kind of represents as it relates to the Arsenal forwards, but I don't think he's a similar type to Firmino. Firmino was the typical, false 9 type player, in my opinion. And Gyökeres is definitely on the last man type as far as his type of player. And then we have Arsenal have a lot of good center backs. It's just Gabriel in the attacking half.
Nah, that pairing, man. There's no way that there's no other guy.
I mean, Saliba did have that curler versus Forrest, man. Matt Sells was on smoke, dude. Matt Sells had some good saves. Saliba's curler, bro.
Got to show some love, man.
That was, man, yeah. But, I mean, Gabriel's certainly the best attacking defender as far as center backs we have. Sure. But, I mean, I think Jurriën Timber's attack, his work on the ball and in attack is underrated.
But we know, but I don't know if it is because we knew that. Remember 2 years ago when you first signed him, we were like, this guy is good. Like we saw it. It's not like we didn't know he wasn't a good player, But yeah.
No, Timbers he's impressed me as well. So
but yeah, it's certainly been a contrasting week of emotions for me because I'm starting to feel like after watching Man City get beat by Santa Claus, I just like, I mean, if this continues, because it's not you've consistently had that kind of a performance.
Yep.
And
no shocks.
Even though I've questioned the mentality of the Arsenal players and Arteta, of course, at times, especially after the Liverpool game, we still we were shit versus Forest. We didn't give a shot on target.
Well, in addition to that, you could kind of be like, hey, you worry about the mentality of
Same.
the Arsenal players.
I'm coming around.
About the mentality of the Arsenal players, but here's the thing.
We'll be jinxing it.
And I get that. But you can worry about the mentality of the Arsenal players, but here's the thing that you actually should care more about. If the mentality of the City players and the Villa players is trash, it don't matter what your mentality is. You don't need it. You don't need anything. It doesn't matter.
I disagree with that.
Because you're just gonna lose games all of a sudden?
No. But also, I think that exactly 21 years. That was the point I was gonna say. After 21 years, I want it to be beyond any doubt whatsoever.
See,
so
man,
if you are going to stumble and crumble and fall over and be Haddock and be Chalet Swish and all these fish jokes instead of sharks or whatever, if you are going to do that, then I want to win by 15 points.
But man,
dude, I want to, because you know why? If you're going to give me the league, if you're just going to give me the league, then I want Champions League as well.
What's so wrong with winning?
I'm 12 points ahead, and it's the second leg of the quarterfinal. Then 12 points ahead, we can rest. It doesn't matter who the league game is because we got 4 games to give. That's my point.
In that point, when you mentioned that at the beginning of the season, I think most Arsenal supporters would have not just Champions League; they'd be happy with the league. Let's be honest. So
yeah, and see, this is the thing where,
my point is, if y'all are going to be shit and just give me the league anyway.
Well, here's the thing, but and in addition to that, what I find is funny, and I'll be honest, like I'm not knocking it because at this point, there's a confidence that you are for sure starting to believe in the narrative you just took. Because the thing is, if we go back a couple of weeks and you're like, I just need to win, you can't go from I just need to win to if they give it to me, I need 15, because then it sounds like there's not really an appreciation of winning the league, and you're talking about 21 years, and now it doesn't feel like a relief because now it feels like you've earned, you owed it, and now I'm not saying you, but then imagine the other Arsenal supporters that don't have the sort of the balance you have mentally. Do you understand how obnoxiously ugly they're going to be, and how no one ever is going to even want to give you a chance? Because if you win the league, that's a big deal in itself. But then if there are fans who have the audacity to be like, well, man, we should have won by 15. You don't even appreciate winning the league. This is why you ain't win it. Like, literally, that's what that it'll be. Because I get where you're coming from. I'm not knocking what you're saying, but I'm talking about taking the narrative there without having the context of knowing who you are. Like that would be absolutely the most unappreciative thing. And then fans will rightly say, this is why they didn't deserve to win the league. Because it's about winning it, right?
It is about winning it. But my point wasn't, I want to humiliate you.
No, I know that wasn't your point.
My point was, I want a lead. I want a lead so that I can focus on the big years.
Hey, man.
That was the whole point. If you're going to give me a huge lead, I'll take the huge lead so that I can focus on even more. You know what I mean?
That, but that's why I contextualized it and said, if I take that soundbite alone, then somebody can take that and be like, hey, man, see, this is why Arsenal. Because
YouTube clips are easy to make. Trust me.
But here's my thing, because imagine if we just clip that out, what you just said, and then you win. People would be like, see, this is why they shouldn't win.
This ungrateful bastard.
Yeah, and then you will sound just like the Arsenal supporters that said, hey, man, so would you take Bukayo Saka or prime Gareth Bale? No hesitation. Prime Bukayo Saka. What?
That's a dumb question.
But we've seen people do it. And so that's what and that wasn't even an out of it. They showed the whole context, and he sounded like an insane whatever he is.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that one.
So the point is that I hear you, I get it, I get where you're coming from, but I just wanted to contextualize it because I don't want someone to take you out of context, which is why I even caveated you being different. Now, the funny thing is the point about like Champions League and the league in one season. Hey, everything is up there, but here's the funny thing about the Champions League, which people are missing, because this group phase is really deceptive, is it not? It's very deceptive, because last year's group phase, Liverpool walking through there, got into the knockout stages. They was like, oh, well, you know what? This is a little different than.
Well, they played the champions. They played the eventual champions.
But the eventual champions didn't look great in the group phase. And that matters. This is different, because here's what this, and it just hit me. This is why this group phase, it's kind of like smoke and mirrors, because in the other way we played, you had to play back and forth. So you were trained to play the home and away. Yeah. And so it was normal. So when you went to the next one, it was more easy to adjust the home and away. You don't get that here. Now you got to deal with the home and away, which literally changes everything, because it's a back-to-back immediate home and away. And that's different, because you got to build up to the consequence. You don't build up to it here. You go straight to home and away, and it matters. Yeah. And so mentality-wise, you haven't been playing that way, because the way everyone's league works, you got a long time before that. Hey, man, I got 2 weeks to figure you out. In one week, if I can just get a draw, all I got to do is nick one. Yeah. And that's all I got to. This tactics and strategy are completely different. Whereas in the old Champions League group stages, you had to do that too. So that means you were able to tweak as you went. And so you were able to figure that out. This group thing,
I'm not sure how people have figured this out. Okay, Isn't it all going to change? Anyway, I don't really, in the Champions League.
No, we could pretend like
you're right. You're right. It's deceptive. I was thinking about the teams that I definitely don't want to see in in like the early rounds. The teams that I expect probably are going to make it deeper. The teams that I know Arsenal would probably struggle with in a two-legged tie in the Champions League. Inter Milan, 100%. In a knockout tie with Inter, that game will be different. It'll be different for sure, 100%. You know who else I don't want to see in a Champions League knockout tie is you, Asif, because Arteta's got some kind of complex about Liverpool, and I don't like it. And we didn't beat you at all this season. You took 4 points off of us already this season, and so playing you and having to go back to Anfield, that would be tough in the Champions League. So, yeah, as much as I'm gassed and Arsenal have won the group phase already and we're this and we're that and we're top of the world, I'm with you. I 100% understand that Champions League is a whole other animal. And that's why I said, give me my 15-point lead so that I can focus on Inter at the San Siro.
But then the other thing is that we're looking and we're assuming, like, first of all, we haven't even seen these Champions League. Yeah, okay. And so we haven't seen how these Champions League teams are going to finish out the transfer window. First, we got to see that. Second, when the knockout phases come, okay, so the first round, okay, you get an easy draw. But it don't get easy after that.
No,
there's no easy after that. So to say, okay, well, I get this first one, and so you get Dortmund or you get Juve or Q-Bag or
Galatasaray. What about the fact that Napoli are going to scrape in by the skin of their teeth, and they're going to play? Napoli is going to have to. Somebody is going to have to play Napoli in that.
Just like somebody had to play PSG.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, like you guys, you smacked Bayern around, right? When you play,
it won't be the same.
Do you think Bayern is going to look like that in the group? Come on, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's another team I don't want to play.
And it just hit me because that's what's different, and that's why this one is harder to read, because it's about the managers figuring it out after this. The managers are like, "Hey, I just need to get to the knockouts," because at that point, your Champions League managers now are going to be running what they need to do. Arne Slot won the Premier League because I had big gaps in between and I could ride my momentum. When Champions League came, I had to figure it out here. And to Asif's point earlier, he's reactionary. And because he's reactionary, it's too late the second leg. If I punched you in the face on the first one and I already figured it out, second leg is too late. It is too late. And so that's why, because they walked the group stage last year. They walked it. Just just like you guys are walking in. I'm not saying you're on the same path, but be careful because a play-in team won the Champions League last year. And we got to make sure. And I mean, like, where PSG was.
Paris beat 4 English teams to get to the final. Like I'll never forget that shit.
And did they not look like a completely different team when they were in y'all better
I don't know if y'all remember, but we smashed Paris at the Emirates. Blanked them. That was one of the best games of our season last year.
Because we thought, because I think City played after, and we was like, oh, we got them, and then they beat us.
And they beat y'all, yeah.
So, hey, man.
Yeah, that's another game. That's another game that I know will be that'll be one of the toughest games. Whoever has to knock Paris out, that's going to be really tough, So that's my point. That bringing it back, that's my point is that if I can have a healthy lead where I don't necessarily have to go full strength in, the FA Cup quarterfinal, the Champions League quarterfinal first leg, and then a Premier League game that means absolutely everything, I'd rather not. So if you're going to give me a huge lead in the league, we need to take it now. That's why when I didn't get my 11-point lead in the last 2 weeks, I was upset.
And in addition to that, just now looking at the table, like eventually, if it holds right, you might have to play Newcastle. You want to go to Newcastle?
No. No.
And so this walking to the next thing, nah, man, we better cut that out.
Can English teams play each other in the
not the first one,
not the playoffs, but the round of 16?
Right. Yeah. The next one they can. Because that's done. It's done. Like once you did that first round, it's done. Now you can play each other. Hey.
But we've always said, Nez, about the Champions League. You're gonna have to play everybody. You're gonna have to play the best of the best of the best. That's what it is.
Anybody. And
that's what it is.
The year City won, what did lose? Either we gonna win or we ain't. Right? Put them in front of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think the Champions League will be a different thing. I think Arsenal has done a great job in the league, and the Champions League is this. Hey, because who's your next one? Who is that?
Kairat. It's Kairat Almaty. They're actually in dead last.
Oh, so for sure.
But we won. We've won the league already. No matter because in Champions League the head-to-head the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, not goal difference. So Bayern could win 50-0. Bayern could win 50-0 and we could lose, and we've still finished first in the group.
This is where rotation might come in.
Oh, rotate. The academy kids are playing this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. I think Arteta wanted to beat Inter because of last year. He said that in the press conference, and so now that he has done this and we've actually won it, there's no way if he doesn't rest everyone, that I'm going to be furious. I'm going to be absolutely furious. I don't even care who we play next. Like they're the kids, the kids.
In addition to that, just to make sure we cover, because we didn't say the history elites, but we didn't talk about Madrid or Barcelona at all.
Exactly.
In the next one, at all, and we just talked about the one. So again, I think people should be a little careful about the Champions League because Madrid is third, and they're not even good this year.
They're not great. No.
They're not even good this year.
No.
And so,
we'll see once Arbeloa gets
and Barcelona, like we play around. Barcelona's legit good. Oh, you can, and then when you show up and you got to go into that stadium, show up in the stadium and see how that feels.
Bro, did you see today? Do you see the game today?
We're not worried about that. See, I'm not stuck here. I'm stuck in the next round because this is done, man.
Did you see the Chelsea game?
No.
Barcelona versus Chelsea.
That's
dude. Hansi Flick's high line is worse than yours, bro. I'm not. I hear you. I hear you. Be very afraid of the Camp Nou. I got you, but it's suicide over there. They're playing Ange Postecoglou just like you are. Okay.
Hey man, all I know is all of it. The legend of Lamine Yamal might become the player Lamine Yamal.
You know how we feel about Aura.
I said that might become.
Like we mentioned, PSG, they might come alive during the knockout stage.
Because Dembele, he's starting to look like he's picking up.
PSG, I'm never counting PSG out. They were shit. Yeah, they were shit yesterday too, but that don't matter. I'm definitely not counting them out.
It could be a Barcelona thing. They could be shit.
Although Although it's dreadfully difficult to win back-to-back Champions Leagues.
Yeah, well, this is why I said Madrid, because if we remember, like there's the aura that Zizou has. Zizou was like this in the league at Madrid. Get him in Champions League and see what happens.
I actually just saw a stat that in seven or 8 seasons, Cristiano Ronaldo only won 2 La Ligas.
Yeah, they didn't. Mourinho and all of them was there. They wasn't winning the league. They was winning the Champions League.
They won a Champions League.
Yeah,
This right
managers all the time.
This is why it's their competition, more or less.
Yeah. For me, the Champions League is always the Real Madrid Invitational until they're out of it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? For
and
sure.
Yes, Ake versus Jamal. Well, I don't know. I mean, Ake, he might give up before he gets there.
He might not make it to that game. Yeah.
Him and Stones would be together.
Speaking of the future, there is a certain very big game at the weekend. We are hosting Manchester United, and I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I'm interested, of course, in how Arteta is going to approach the. I actually, in the chat, you remember, I said it was almost a throwback to Sir Alex Ferguson style with how expansive and how wide they were.
Yep.
The thing about it is they could get punished real easily.
For sure.
I don't think City were quite expecting it. And, once again, we spoke on how Rodri kind of got left to dry in the middle. But
their secret's out.
Yeah, I think
can't shock you this time.
If they give us that much space, it could be a different story.
Destroy them. You should destroy them.
It could be a different story.
I think Arsenal got this.
It'll be interesting just because it's something Arteta hasn't necessarily seen.
Well, Bruno was kind of looking like he's going in the right direction too, and so as annoying as he is,
hey man, that works for me. 4th minute set piece, I'm all about it.
I got a different one. I got a Harry Maguire own goal at
Harry.
I think personally,
but I can see that.
I can see Arsenal nicking it because the fact that Arteta, how he's quite cautious, as Jake has pointed out quite a few times, he won't attack him as much. He won't leave him as much space.
He should. He absolutely should attack him.
He won't.
So because they haven't got the space in transition, it could cancel each other out, which means a set piece like that will probably most
Harry Maguire.
I'm telling you, Arteta, just like he seems to have a complex about Liverpool, he 100% has a complex about Manchester United. 100%. You know how? So 3 seasons ago, when Ten Hag was at his worst, Man United were in the dumps. And last season, when Amram was at his worst, Man United were in the dumps. What was I saying? What was I calling for? Smash them. I want 8-2. I want revenge. I want it on their head tops. And this Arteta just doesn't do that. He was there that day. Homie, you were there that day. You should have this same mindset. But no, he doesn't. He doesn't have this mindset. He has this thing, just like Asif said, and it goes right with his, oh, get out of here. What is this? This is rage bait. This is absolute rage bait. He's talking to you. He's talking to you, Lewis.
We take him.
Yeah, he's talking. Yeah, Big Harry would walk right into that Man City defense.
We'll take the meaty forehead.
But Asif, you said it. Arteta is cautious. He's got the game management philosophy, and he knows that now that they're giving Bruno the freedom, because that's really what it was. They set the team up so that Bruno would be able to just kind of float and do what he does best, right? But Arteta knows that if we just keep it tight and compact and don't give anything on the break, don't commit too far forward, that we nullify what they're best at, the counterattack. And so this is probably going to be like a boring game. And if we do hit a set piece in the there might be more space if we get a 4th-minute set piece.
So a question.
This will be what will be really intriguing if we do go behind a goal. That'll open the game up. That'll be interesting.
That was my question. My man is on it. See, I'm not. This is why I can be the neutral, because my thing is do you feel the pressure if United get one on you? Because that's because they're on paper they're not better than you, but they know how to play their style. But they know how to play.
I can't see him getting a quick goal on Arsenal.
You don't know, like games like these, man. And who's the referee? Who's the referee for this game?
Oh my God, it's probably Anthony Taylor with my
because it matters. Hold on, let me look.
It's probably Michael Oliver, just like it was at the last game. That's why we got robbed. That's why Forrest didn't concede that penalty. Stonewall penalty. Slap the ball like this, but it's Michael Oliver, so of course we're not getting the call.
Who is the referee? Like, I'm trying to find it now. Does he know it? I thought the dude knew it. Who's the referee for this? Craig Paulson is the referee for this game.
He's a shambles as well.
I can't wait to see the game. Hey man,
dude,
I'm good either way.
Seriously though, Arun is right here. If we concede first, it could be interesting. But see what's
Harry Maguire 4-minute goal for United.
Hey, I mean, he almost did it to you, so
I know.
And that's the thing. I mean, if that is the eventuality, if we don't stop crosses, we can hurt us. They can hurt us. We have to stop crosses. But also, I think it's going to be.
Who's this?
I would love this. I would absolutely love this. I would absolutely love this right here. I disagree that he'll attack, that he'll come all out attack. But what I do think is if we do that, if we have the game plan we had against Inter, 5-0.
I don't know why they didn't attack, but
if we go at them like we did against Inter Milan, we will decimate them because no one, I repeat, no one in this league can handle our press when we're on it. If you think Manchester United can, go watch Inter Milan. Got wrecked.
Amen.
Go watch the Chelsea game. We wrecked them absolutely wrecked them on the press, dude.
Hey, Ray is believing. I don't know who Ray is, but Ray is absolutely.
We don't need a goal in the first minute. We'll take a 94th minute header, Gabriel header or whatever.
Ray is believing.
We should absolutely demolish Manchester United. Inter have all kinds of pace, bro. DeMarco, Luis Enrique, Marcus Thuram, Lautaro Martinez. These guys aren't slow. These guys are not slow. They're fast. I tell you right now, in a foot race, DeMarco is beating. He's beaten Dorgu. He's beaten Dallo. Let's see. Marcus Thuram is probably running stride for stride with Bumo. I know you're not telling me. I know you ain't telling me Bruno Fernandes is fast. Yeah. Yeah, Ray. See you on Monday. Yeah, we'll see.
Man,
we'll absolutely see.
I love it. See, as a neutral, this is fine for me because I don't care.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But I told you, like I said at the beginning.
You still believe 7 points ain't that big. If United beat us, y'all are right back in it.
Sir, I don't believe in anything. And this is why I don't believe it. We have greater issues than that. Matter of fact, I said on the record.
Hey, man. I'm with him. I'm 100% with him. We should absolutely demolish them. If we play like we did against Inter, if we have the ruthless killer mentality. I have my doubts that will be how the tail of the tape. But I want to see it. Hey, the ref was terrible every time we've ever lost. The ref was just awful.
Well, I'm going to put it like this. If you have that same tackle that Dallo had on Doku's knee, I think it gets called a red in this game.
Yeah, I think it does as well.
I mean, it was a red in the last one, but it wasn't. It wasn't, but it was.
It should have been. No, that definitely should have been a red.
If somebody goes out early on a red from either team, oh my God,
that'll kill I think that'll probably kill the game off.
Arsenal.
That's what I'm saying.
Arsenal really lose players that early. I can't remember the last time they lost someone so early in the game, but
Hey, man.
I mean, Declan Rice got a red card versus Brighton in the 4th minute 2 seasons ago. Ray sees a red. I mean, maybe we don't have Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira in the squad these days. Yes, very lucky on Delo.
It was a red.
It was certainly a red, 100% a red.
So I'm curious. You know who I see a red on? As I look at the lineup, I know who I see the red on. Y'all will never guess who I see the red on.
The Butcher, Lisandro Martinez.
Nope. Casemiro.
The greatest center defensive midfielder to ever live.
He's good for a dumb one, man.
Yeah, he's good for them.
He's good.
You see a red, the Red Devils. Marino's not getting red.
What?
He's not getting red. Maybe Harry, Big Harry.
Casemiro, man.
Yeah, it's definitely Casemiro.
Everybody knew Casemiro.
This is what they agree. Yeah. It's absolutely
He's good
Casemiro.
For a dumb one, man. He does dumb stuff all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the thing about it is when United do come out and come at us on the break, we in turn are going to have to play just as quick when they are out of shape. Because as they said, he said here, if they score first and we have to just try to break them down the whole time, it could be tough. It could be a long day because there were periods in the game versus City, where they got real compact in that Christmas tree right on the edge of the box. So there were times where we saw that. And I'm sure there will be periods where we see that at the Emirates Stadium as well. Certainly do expect to see that. But all in all, I'm thinking it's full strength again. Saka.
You think Trossard?
I don't know. I want Trossard because I think he's better versus low blocks, and I think there will be moments in this game where we're going to be play. Yeah. Opening day is always a bit different, and that was at Old Trafford. Arteta is terrified of Old Trafford. Absolutely shits himself when we go to our Old Trafford. That's why it's been stinkers of games the last 3 times we've been there. But I think that, it'll be Rice, Zubi, and Odegaard again in the center.
So Eze doesn't play again?
Nah.
So somehow you spent all that money on Eze and he don't remember what I said earlier? I'm just saying, remember what I said earlier?
Jesus definitely doesn't start. Victor's not getting benched, not after that goal. No way.
No, I think Victor starts.
Is Jesus even good? I'm sorry. Just, my bad.
I think he's leaving at the end of the season. I don't think he's gonna stay.
He doesn't even know how to stay healthy.
He's been healthy longer than I can remember now.
But he just got back.
Yeah, but this spell of health that he's had, it's been like a month. I'm saying that's like longer than he's been healthy for like a long time, But yeah, I definitely think Gyökeres will start. Fantastic finish from him, by the way. Of course, gotta give you the mask. Getting blitzed. I would love to see this. We don't normally see that versus Man U, but I would love to put 6 goals on them. Of course, it'll be Declan and Zubimendi in there. They're gonna have to be big versus the transition, of course. Gabby and
he is not playing for Brazil
at the back.
He's not playing for Brazil. I'm gonna have to disagree with this one.
Who's this? Oh, Jesus. Jesus ain't nah.
They'll put name for it.
Neymar with a busted meniscus will play in front of Jesus, man.
Hey, nah, man. There's no way.
Kid from Real Madrid who's gone out on loan. He'd get.
Oh, Endrick, yeah.
Endrick, yeah. Rodrigo
before him, man.
Rodrigo for sure. Vinny, obviously. Yeah.
Well, I know who ain't going. I know who ain't going. No. And
yes, he is.
I know who ain't going.
You know who Lord Voldemort himself is going to be in the team.
He's a shoo-in. He's a shoo-in.
No.
Dude, if he goes to the World Cup and kills it in Brazil, dude, there you go. That's a shout.
Which is why we know Jesus ain't going.
That's why Jesus ain't going. There you go.
He ain't going.
He definitely ain't going.
Yes, that is very true. He who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Stop it. He ain't going nowhere. Stop.
Just for the banter, I would love to see him make the squad. Just for banter purposes.
Yeah, just to show you.
That's
Just-
insanity to believe he'd make the
Just
team.
to see him, if he comes on and gets a couple goals in a World Cup game.
Are we serious right now? You really come on, man. Neymar in a walking boot.
even if he scored one goal, I'd be happy with that list.
He's
Oh
not
my God.
scoring anything.
Even if he scored one goal, I'd just be
He's
sure, I'd be showing
he's
you
not
guys.
he's not making the team. He's not playing friendlies.
Shout out Savio. I know you still have to earn your Eno card, but shout out, man. Hope you get well soon, brother. We want to see you back in that City shirt.
He's in national team, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
but
stop it.
But yeah, I think it'll be, and it's interesting because I don't know if Calafiore is. I don't. One day he's 1 day from returning, then he's weeks from returning, and then he's a couple days.
Yeah,
who knows?
It still says exactly.
So it might be actually Timber back at left back and Ben White come back in at right back. Even though I do want to shout out Miles Lewis Skelly for a second. Got smoked versus Frimpong, right? Absolutely getting burned versus Frimpong in the Liverpool game. And then in versus Luis Enrique, the wing back for Inter, he was very fast as well. And you could see, but here it is, Ray. Here it is. He's learning. He's absolutely learning. Because if you notice versus Inter, when Enrique was burning him, when he turned around and started, instead of trying to go right for the ball, he arced his run. He arced his run to the inside. And Lewis, I see you shaking your head because you know what that does. It gave him the space and the angle to get in front of it. He did it twice. The ball that was in for Marcus Thuram, and when he's forced Marcus Thuram, not on the goal, but on the other time when Thuram hits it high and wide, that was because Lewis Skelly arced his run and got back in the way. And the same thing when Luis Enrique hit the one over the bar, Miles Lewis Skelly arced his run and got in the way because of the angle. It was very astute play, and it's because he knows. Someone's told him, someone's been in his ear. One of the coaches said, hey, because I've had a coach tell me the same thing. Yo, you're not fast enough, so do this or run at this angle or change the angle. Nah, man, he arced it a little bit. You just go back and watch it. He arcs it a little bit, and he's able to get the angle at the very end. We'll see. Yeah, there you go. I'll give you.
Yeah,
Diallo's fast, but I don't think he's that much faster than Enrique or that much faster than Frimpong. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that Frimpong is faster.
Frimpong is probably faster.
Frimpong is, dude, he is lightning. That guy's fast. Like, dude, even in the Marseille game today, he's running down things. I'm like, there's no way he's, whoa, he's got there. I think that Frimpong might be one of the paciest wingers Miles Lewis Skelly will have to come up against. But having said all of that, I do expect him to go back to the bench and it to be Timber on the left. Actually, you know what? Mosquera's fit now. With Mosquera fit, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if that changes anything. It'll definitely be interesting to see if that changes anything. But yeah, I'm expecting a win. I'm expecting a big performance. What I am going to be very upset with is if Saka has a hangover, if Zubamendi has a hangover, if Saliba has a hangover, if the dudes that started and played 90 minutes rest have a hangover, I will be pissed. I will be unbelievably livid.
Yeah, but your game's Sunday and it's the late one. I think that's enough time, man.
It better be. It fucking better be. I'm telling you right now, it better be, because if we drop this game because we went strong versus Inter and we don't beat Manchester United, I'm gonna be so mad. I will be so effing mad. Yes, I'm pumped. We destroyed Inter. It was great. We were at some of almost to our best. We looked really good. Love it. Love to see it. If we don't follow that up with a blinding performance at the weekend, I'm going to be so mad. So pissed.
Blinding? What do you mean blinding? Because
I will take 1-0. I'll take 1-0. I'll take 1-0. That's fine. I want a result. A result is paramount. At this point in the season, the result is paramount. But I'm still criticized. I'm still going to criticize if we look tired when we didn't have to look tired. And that's something I've been very critical of Arteta of this season, is managing everyone's minutes and keeping the squad healthy. Right? Yes, we did make some changes. I wanted to see the team that played against Portsmouth. I'm talking about full rotation because if we need to smash someone, maybe the 36th place team in the Champions League might be smashable. Just saying. So if we don't show the same intensity versus Manchester United, I'm going to be absolutely livid. Here it is. We did not have to do what we did versus Inter. We did not have to do that. We did it, and we won, and I'm happy. Of course, love to see my team play well and win. But if we don't have the same intensity versus Manchester United, followers of this channel are going to hear about it. The subscribers on here are going to hear about it. Because my match reaction is going to be hot. I'm telling you right now.
It's two good lunch games, though. Poole and Bournemouth and Arsenal and United. Those are some good ones.
But yeah, like you said, Asif, if we win and play like shit, I'll be happy. I'll call it out. But I'll be happy.
Those are kind of games where you're happy with the result, however it comes. Sometimes with someone's new manager, they got that new manager bounce. Sometimes you think, okay, I'd be happy with that if I were you, Jake. I know, but those kind of results.
Yes, I absolutely hear it.
It's a lot of football to be played, man, and it's a matter
you
of
say that. You say that, right?
I'm not talking about the end of the season. I'm just talking about like I'm accounting for the Champions League, and now the pressure is starting to connect to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because these are quick. That's why I look to see the game is on Sunday. But I mean, after Sunday, what Champions League is again next week? Am I not mistaken?
Yep, it's next week. Yeah,
because that's the last one. And so, it's a lot of stuff. So,
and then it's the league, and then it's the semifinal, the second leg of the semifinal, and then the league.
But this is where you got you Arsenal kind of needs to go like balls to the wall in this game, because you're going to rest the next one. You should rest, but you're going to rest the next one, because then after that game, the next Champions League game, it's go time everywhere.
Well, we have a month. We'll have a month off after that.
Yeah, but that's because
from Champions League. League.
Yeah, but then there's still a bunch of games left.
There'll be but then we'll have the semifinal. The semifinal.
Chelsea, right?
Chelsea.
You got Chelsea.
And we got Chelsea in the league like 2 games after the semifinal game.
Right. And if you beat Chelsea, then you got a final in there. Like there's a lot of games in there.
Plus the FA Cup 5th round.
Right. Who's that? I don't even know who that is.
Oh, we're playing Wigan.
Oh, okay.
We play Wigan.
Like that. Yeah. And all of these games are games of consequence now.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Yeah.
And so yes, it's my favorite thing to say this year is there are a lot of games left, because now it's like right here, man. And so you got to
Asif's point. To Asif's point, though, with 16 games left in the league, it took you having an 18 game unbeaten run the last time you beat us to the league, and we went on. In that same 18 games, we lost once and drew once. I'll tell you right now, if we do that again in the next 16 games, we'll walk the league. We'll walk the league for sure. If we get another 14 wins, So, but my point is the league games. Hello, Kiri music. My point is, starting now. Like, I'll take 16 1-0s. Every league game is like, for me, it's like just get it done. Just get the result. And I've talked about mentality, because I know that mentality leads to good performances, and you need consistent performances to win the league. But at this point, we've put a whole bunch of consistency together. Now it's about just get it over the line.
Oh, but I didn't. The 2 quick things as I look at random news. First, the United thing. So apparently,
there's
a rumor
that Trent,
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Well, if you got music, drop a link in there or something, right? But
if you make music, for sure, yeah.
Apparently, United is going to go after Trent Alexander-Arnold.
No way.
Did
No
somebody
way.
say something about money? Because I remember people was talking about money.
There's
to me.
no way Trent goes to United.
Well,
It
No
means
way.
more.
No
It
way.
means more. It means more, right, Asif? It means more.
that's
No
what he
way.
said, right?
If he goes, he's just ruined any legacy he's ever had at
He
Leeds.
don't have no legacy.
Yeah.
He don't have no legacy.
Hey,
He's won
Kiri,
the league.
X and Patrick have not been on this season yet. They're still around. They might be the Chelsea contingent might be back at some point this season.
Yeah, and you got to give X
For
some
sure.
credit. X got the little addition, so we got
Xavier's had a baby.
Yeah, man.
So he's a new father. Little Roman. His baby's name is Roman after Roman Abramovich. Yes, and you're right, Ray. If Trent goes to United, there's just for this right here, the fact that he will be hated forever by all Papa Reds.
And that's why I added such banter, because I'm reading this on the screen and I'm like, there's no way. But I had to put it there.
No way, man.
I had to put it there.
He will never be welcome at Anfield ever again.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't think he's welcome there right now.
He's saying saying it was
I'm
buying.
reading it. Like, I'm reading the thing right here. Like, I'm not.
Different article. Okay, yeah.
I would prefer him going to Bayern than ever coming to United.
That's the same as, like, I saw a post about Premier League traders, and of course the first one was Emmanuel Adebayor, so it's like
He didn't care at all.
no, he was not a very nice person, and if I speak, I'll be in trouble, as they say, But that would be the height of betrayal, especially after all the crap.
That would be like
Especially
Owen.
the crap Trent said.
That would be like Owen when he went to Man United as well.
And this one right here, Sol Campbell. Dude, I still hate Ashley Cole. I'm still not a fan. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of that's what he would do to his legacy. That's the kind of tarnishment. It would be an Ashley Cole type thing,
Hey, man, I don't think he cares. We took Nasri from you guys. These guys don't care anymore, man.
Nah, but see, that's different. Arsenal to City, it's not a rivalry.
But it's not. They didn't like him.
You've just broed us for 4 years. You've just little broed us for 3 seasons. This is not a rivalry.
That's a totally different thing.
Oh, here we go. When he started learning Spanish.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, he don't have no legacy, man. Like, he was gone.
No legacy, huh, Asif?
I agree.
No.
I don't think
He has a legacy. Let's be honest. He has a legacy.
Nah, man.
He may have
He's
left
ruined it.
on terms that were not exactly the best, but he still has a legacy. So that's my point. It's like that's like saying, okay, we can't even compare it.
Whoa! Calm down with this. Calm down with this right here. I still love Cesc Fabregas. I'm still a Cesc Fabregas fan. I didn't call that one a betrayal.
And Van Persie? Go ahead, Jake.
Van Persie,
You're real quiet on that one because we already know what that is. We know the Van Persie one because Van Persie left and then did what? There you go. So yeah. Ray is correct.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
Yes, Ray is correct.
No, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying.
Hey man, Como's killing it in Serie A right now. Cesc Fabregas, I'm still a fan. I'd rather not, Ray. I'd rather not. Dude, they all choose greed over respect. They all choose the money.
True.
Hey man, but we didn't talk about the slot thing that I sent y'all. I think the slot shade was so great.
Yeah.
Like, we can't skip that one. I know we was talking about Arsenal, so I don't want to kill the Arsenal thing. So finish the Arsenal United thing. Go ahead.
No, we're going to smash them. I really hope we're going to smash them. And my biggest thing is if I don't see the intensity, I'm going to be upset. That's definitely the biggest thing. But we should be able to handle business at home.
Go on this.
But Slot's quote of, if you won the league at a club which has won it twice in 30 years, I'm surprised to hear that when they was throwing shade at him because, he needs to prove himself. Hey, man, I love the shade he threw right back. right back. He's like, "Oh, you got it. I got one back for you." I love the shade he threw back
It's
because
funny. It's funny when Dutch people throw out cheeky little jokes because you never know because they're always so serious.
yes, I love the shade he threw back. Love it because what are they talking about, right? Like,
Yeah, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. He's literally the definition of success. That's like I saw one the other day where it says, even if Arteta wins the Premier League, he's been unsuccessful and he has to go.
Who said that?
What? It was obviously on X, so it has to be true, you know. It has to be very veracity. You know, the veracity is high.
What is this one?
Yeah.
What?
Gerrard stuck true. That's why he'll remain a legend. Dalglish stuck true. Legend. Salah. Yeah, but Salah also went scorched earth recently.
Yeah, man.
Dude, every single bit of a career matters to the legacy. Every single bit of a career matters to the legacy. That's why, in my opinion, Leo Messi's money grubbing is what I call it in Miami.
It's a giant
money grubbing in Miami is tarnishing the end of his career, in my opinion.
Really is. Like Cristiano,
yes, don't come for me. Don't come for me. Cristiano Ronaldo going to Saudi for money.
Yes.
Money grubbing. I get it. But it just feels so much slimier because of all the publicity from Miami.
The narrative they had. But it was the narrative they had around Messi. Like, they painted him as this guy. We always saw Ronaldo left. Cristiano left United to go to Madrid, to go to Juve. And we was like, hey, we this is what we expect from Cristiano, so nobody's going to judge him on that. When Messi did what Messi did, you're like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? And then this fake thing, and then you watch the MLS, and you're like, oh, this is okay. They've literally just bent over for him. Yeah. So that's very different. I don't
changing grass and stuff for him, and it was like, dude,
right,
like this is such a farce.
He played in like 5 leagues.
I agree with Thierry on this, when he says let them go to the other leagues, let them once they get to the end of their career.
Yeah,
if they're legends and they won one last payday. I don't blame them for it, for going to Saudi or the MLS for.
Yeah, I don't knock that at all.
I don't blame it at all, but
they'll still be remembered in European competition as a legend, or in their club as a legend.
But the thing,
also, if we're gonna have comparisons of players' careers, you can't leave out parts of their career, right? So the European legacy versus what they've done in the end. Yes, I get going, and if you've still got 2-3 seasons in the legs, but maybe not at a Premier League level, you can still make your money. You can still make. I get that, and you should. 100%. If you've got it, and you should make the career as long as possible. But when we're talking about GOAT conversations and comparisons, and this guy's better than that guy, every part of the legacy, every part of the career, because if we're going to say that the guys who were healthiest for the longest get to put that on their CV in the comparison conversation, then what they're doing in the said longevity also matters.
Yeah,
I understand that, Jake. When you mentioned Salah, okay, yes, I understand he had his baby moment, so to speak, and spit his dummy out, but that doesn't come. Like Gerrard had a little thing, like had a little flirt with Chelsea. He wanted to go over there, then he changed his mind. It happens. No one's perfect. This is what I'm trying to say in regards to, but that doesn't stop them.
But I think it changes a lot more, and to Asif's point, because he used Gerrard, and I think that matters because today these players are under a microscope, so it's even easier to cancel out, parts of their legacy because of missteps or rumors that people have heard. Whereas in the past, we don't know anything about like what was going on behind the scenes, So I think it makes it harder. So like because for example, the Messi thing was this. Messi did the whole thing he did with Barcelona, and then now Barcelona was going through financial issues, and they couldn't re-sign him because of the money he wanted and the money they gave him, and he goes to PSG for some insane money, right? And so even though he was supposed to go to City, so now he's going to oil clubs. So now you're like kind of questioning, the integrity there. He went to PSG and was garbage. Nobody's going to pretend like he was good. He was garbage there. And that PSG team was on paper better than the one that won recently.
Mhm.
And they were garbage.
Mhm.
And then he left there in a setup situation where it showed he just wasn't at that top league level anymore. And he goes to Miami. And then basically Apple bought the whole league and they're bending over for him. And hey, I've gone to watch Messi play twice. And it's a good ambiance. It's an energy. I would love, it's great to watch it, but let's be honest about what it is.
Yeah.
When it comes to Salah, I just hope he doesn't make any more fuss. He can go at the end of this transfer window, the end of the summer, in the summer, and that's it. And I hope I'm sure he'd always be welcome back.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
But I just hope nothing
It can't
happens.
be any more, though.
Yeah,
he can't do anything else.
Exactly.
Yeah. If that's the case, to my point, it's a small, meaningless blip in an otherwise sterling career.
Yes.
Exactly. That's
But yeah, if we're talking about longevity, I miss every time he comes to Charlotte. Yeah. Are you in and around Charlotte?
Go Charlotte.
We're pretty close to Charlotte. And if you are, man, be ready for this weekend. Get ready for this weekend because it's gonna be It's gonna be bad.
First of all, we left Ray Ray's thing out about Dutch sarcasm being confusing, which it is, but I didn't know he took HGH.
I didn't hear about this either.
About that.
Wow.
I got nothing.
You live in East Charlotte. Nice. That's what's up.
Then you probably went
the
to
Bronx.
What was it called? Where did I go? I used to watch City at an Arsenal bar, but I can't. They moved it twice and then it just closed. What's the name of it?
In East Charlotte, yeah, I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't in East Charlotte. It was the.
Right. We'll look this up. As a kid. Okay.
Oh
yeah.
He was like a tiny. He was That's
the growth hormone.
Well, maybe it wasn't HGH. Maybe it was that secret sauce.
It was Michael Jordan's secret sauce.
Yeah.
Hey, Brock Gunner, we were Lewis and I were at the game in Charlotte.
Yeah, for
in the summer when Chelsea played Benfica. We went there. Dilworth's, is that what you're talking about, Lewis?
No, it's what's the thing? The old English one. They just recently closed. I used to go there all the time. It was an Arsenal bar, but they would, God, what's the thing?
You had to look it up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I
can't remember, man, because they just closed.
But hey, Bronx Gunner, man, it's gonna be a crazy ice storm this weekend. Like for real. Look that up on the Weather Channel. Get ready, man. It's gonna be. We're battening down the hatches where I'm at. I'm east of you, up in the mountains, and the snow and ice is gonna be crazy. So make sure you're ready, brother, because it's gonna be nuts.
Charlotte shuts down for that.
Oh, I'm expecting 3-4 days without power. Like I'm expecting. We're preparing for the worst. So
this weather is something else.
It's gonna be crazy. Hey, man, you're not immune to it either. You're gonna get a lot of snow.
We're supposed to get 16 inches.
You're getting a ton of snow.
We're expecting 16 inches.
I'm getting a bunch of ice. But hopefully I will still be able to catch the games. I'm sure it's not gonna come in too bad, and hopefully I'll still have power on Sunday, be able to watch Arsenal destroy the Manchester United. I hope they cancel everything. Yeah, I mean, they're going to shut down the whole town probably with as much ice is coming through. But we're definitely hoping everyone stays safe. And we're hoping that Arsenal win and you guys lose. Did I say that out loud? Oh, geez.
I got nothing, man. But you're talking to Ray, not the BX Gunner, because he's obviously an Arsenal fan. Ray is not Ray. Is Ray the United fan?
He's an Arsenal fan as well. No, he was an Arsenal fan as well. I'm
dude,
pretty sure. Arun. He's a United fan.
I can't speak or spell. So it's
but yeah, hopefully we're gonna have some good action this weekend. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. For sure. I'll be tuning in. Of course, there'll be watch-alongs on the channel here. And of course, so go ahead and get that notification bell on, people, so you know when all the content's coming down. I'm certainly grateful.
Thumbs up.
Certainly grateful for all the comments tonight. Grateful that everyone's been here, made it this far. Go ahead and, like you said, smash up the like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Of course, thanks again for being here. That's all from the Cup Chasers podcast. We will see you next time.